Joe Griffin, a train guard for Alpha Tracks, is working on an overnight passenger train that is leaving London at midnight. The regular guard is ill. The opportunity to spend time with Ellen, the tea trolley girl, his unrequited love, is his only comfort. As the train passes through a strong thunderstorm, a view of the full moon is captured. The train almost blocks in a wooded area when it strikes a deer a few miles before arriving at Eastborough, the last station. The driver tries to remove the dead deer that has become lodged to the wheels after being forced to make an emergency stop to assess the situation. A werewolf attacks and kills him as he struggles with the deer body. The other passengers, Kate, Adrian, Matthew, Billy, Nina, Paul, Ged, and his wife Jenny, and Adrian, are unaware of the dangers outside. They are angry to hear that an emergency team won't be able to get to the train because of fallen trees along the line, so they convince Joe and Ellen to let them get off the train so they can try to walk to Eastborough instead. A werewolf follows them and bites Jenny's leg before she is dragged to safety after Joe and Ellen discover the driver's chopped-up body while they are walking through the woods. As a result, they rush everyone back to the train. Joe tries to call for assistance once more but gets no answer while the others bandage Jenny's wound. Due to a malfunctioning antenna on the train's roof, everyone eventually discovers that none of them can receive cell phone calls. Billy, an engineering student, concludes that in order for the train to continue moving, the fuel lines needed to be repaired because they were leaking and damaged. The werewolf attempts to break through the cabin's double-paned windows and metal roof, but it is unsuccessful. Later, when it climbs to the train's roof, Nina's phone starts to ring, and the cell phone reception is activated. As she enters a less defended section of the train, the werewolf breaks through the glass and drags her out. Using the power tools on the train to reinforce the windows and doors with metal grates, the remaining passengers barricade themselves in another car. While Paul is suffering from diarrhea, the werewolf enters the car through the bathroom roof and kills him. After killing Paul, the werewolf breaks through the barricades. All of the passengers get scared after watching the werewolf. The passengers fight together, they try hard to kill it. They use every single stuff they get from the trail and try to beat the werewolf and kill the werewolf. Adrian remembers that a person who is bitten by a werewolf will turn into one after Matthew identifies the creature as one. Adrian thus attempts to murder Jenny, who is losing her senses, coughing up blood, and spitting out her teeth, in spite of the protests of others, before turning into a werewolf herself. After knocking Adrian out, Joe has Jenny and the others tie him up. Billy and Joe try to fix the train so it can be driven to safety, not realizing that the werewolf's death cries have warned the rest of its pack. Billy goes outside to repair the fuel lines while Joe and Ellen keep an eye on the console. When Matthew hears someone calling for assistance, he rushes into the forest to help protect him. Before he is attacked and killed, he finds Nina being eaten alive by a werewolf. Kate is taken away by the werewolf pack and dies as the train starts to move again. Jenny, after killing her husband and turning into a full-fledged werewolf, Jenny tries to kill Adrian but is killed by Joe. Adrian traps Joe and Ellen to hide his escape after the other werewolves, regrettably, are able to board the train. Billy is killed when he tries to use torches to ward off the werewolves, and Joe and Ellen escape into the forest while the pack follows them. Ellen makes it safely to the closest station, but Joe stays behind to fight them since he knows they won't make it. Despite his valiant efforts, Joe becomes a werewolf after being bitten by the chief werewolf. The other werewolves closely observe Adrian as he stumbles onto the scene and is attacked by the newly transformed Joe.